In this video, I'm going to give you a really easy way that you can potentially improve your ad performance nearly overnight by just going and attracting and targeting people from different locations in the world. So I'm going to use my account as an example here to kind of show this because I'm going to show the strategy for myself. And then I'll probably make an update video or put it in the doc somewhere so you guys can see the results of this thing as well. So first things first, if you want access to the cheat sheet that I use, you can check the description below. It'll give you all the details on how you can access this cheat sheet and see all the key and core KPIs that I like to track inside of Ads Manager and how to influence those KPIs as well. These are really important. If you want access to it, just check the description of this video and there's tons of different ways that you can get access to it. Let's get right into this strategy. So first things first is find an ad campaign or an ad set that's performing well, but you would love for it to perform a little bit better. Or maybe you want to start scaling it up. So let's say this one right here. This one for me got me a purchase at $46. That's awesome, and that's profitable for me. So what I would love to do is see how I can improve these ad stats. So compared to my account average, which I've been struggling with CPMs, this CPM is actually pretty good. All these metrics are not bad, but I would love to see this drop and this improve. So one of the easiest things that we could do is duplicate this. You can either keep it in the original campaign or check out some of my previous videos on how I like to structure things. But for now, I'm just going to keep it in this campaign for the example. And what we're going to go ahead and do is keep everything the same. We're literally just going to expand the audiences into some different countries. Now, with this being said, I'm targeting the US only right now. And what I usually like to do is separate them into their own pods, essentially. So if I have the US, I will usually not do United States, Canada, UK, Australia all in one. I'll usually separate them out. So for example, I'm doing US on this one. Let's go ahead and add in Canada. Let's just add in United Kingdom and Australia. United Kingdom, Australia. And that'll be one batch that I'm going to test out, right? From there, what I'll do is keep that budget the same. I like that. And publish it. And we're going to do the exact same thing, but for Canada. And I really like to separate them out like this first because you usually get a lot better and a little bit quicker results as well when you separate them out in these pods. Once you find them to work, then you can decide to bring them back together and combine everything into one ad set where it's maybe Canada, UK, Australia, US, everything all into one category. So this is totally fine. This is a great way to test things. It gives you a really easy way that you can usually drop your ad costs and test something new by just making a really simple change. If you can do this, it's a great thing to do. But maybe now you're thinking, okay, well, what if I don't want to go outside of the US? Or what if I'm very specific to a state, right? Because I know a lot of real estate agents, you can't necessarily go around different, obviously you can go around different countries. You probably can't go around different states either, but you could try different locations. And what I would do, depending on how you have your ads set up, is either target by zip code or target by area specific and exclude different areas. Now, if you're a real estate agent, you don't have as much flexibility and you can't target a zip code. Whereas here, like I can target a zip code. That's totally fine. And I could be really, really specific. Like I want to do this zip code, but not another, right? Like I could choose to exclude this zip code, but then include another zip code as well, right? So that's something really cool that you can do is even if you can't go outside of your state, you could try doing different zip codes, excluding ones to get a very specific area. Just in the same way that you could do specific states. I've seen this be a really, really good way to improve performance quite a bit and drop your ad costs if you're struggling with something like a high CPM or high cost per link click. So we could do something like this. Like let's just target Florida, Texas. Let's target Ohio. And what else? Florida, Texas, Ohio. Let's try out Colorado. And there we go. Just that alone, once again, instead of going over the whole United States, which is what I've been doing, we're targeting some very specific states. I could take this a step further. we could go and find like the most wealthiest location in Ohio, right? Or a wealthy location in Ohio. I'm going to spitball this just because I'm from there. I think like Blue Ash or Montgomery usually is pretty good. So there we go, Blue Ash, Ohio. That's a 25-mile radius. That's not bad, but we probably want to drop this down. Drop this down even further. And there you go. Like that could probably work, and that's probably not bad. All right, I'm just spitballing this big time, but you get the idea. If you do a little bit of research, and if you try to find areas that are maybe higher wealth, or you try to find areas where there's a lot of like tech hubs or people working in different locations, this can be a really, really easy way to drop your costs significantly without changing much, because this is something that I've seen happen across quite a few ad accounts where the ad stats look really good. Like for example, for me, a lot of these stats like don't look bad, especially the link click-through rate. And they'll even get purchases, right? Like this one right here, or even this one, has gotten 2 sales. I've made money on this campaign, but unfortunately, the CPMs in these are really, really high. But if you go and dial things down and you go after very specific locations or even very specific placements inside of Facebook or Instagram, that's where you can see a huge improvement across the board. I've done a video in the past where you could do the exact same thing, but just placements. So if you go to breakdown here, and if you go to, let me move myself, and if you go to by delivery and you go to placement, even placement and device, this is such a cool thing that you can really dive in on. And let's take a look. So let's say this audience here that got me 2 purchases. Now I've got my ads manager set up really, really well. So the data that you're seeing here is dead on. Check out on the back end, it's all perfect. Now, what we could do is you could see here that, wow, Facebook feed desktop is where I got 1 sale. Then I got another sale, Instagram feed desktop, for $6. Right there, I could launch a new ad, just go after Instagram feed desktop, Facebook feed desktop, and I would probably get a lot better results. You can see that even, I mean, what's that's insane though. Look at the CPMs on that, $500. Like that doesn't even make any sense. But then a nearly 8% link click-through rate, which just makes no sense. So it's a really easy way that you can try to find things that are working or not working and then avoid them or add those into your strategy to help improve your performance. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like, comment, subscribe. And if you want access to this funnel diagnostic cheat sheet, which goes over core KPIs, just check out the description below, get instant access to it, and help yourself to some really, really good strategies to improve your ad performance across the board.